Welcome to ChessBase Magazine 174. The three top tournaments of this issue are Bilbao, which was won by world champion Magnus Carlsen, the Sinquefield Cup, won by Wesley So, and Dortmund by Maxime Vachier-Lagrave, often called MVL. All three winners have annotated at least one game for the ChessBase Magazine. Magnus Carlsen, his win against Wesley So from Bilbao, and as usual I had to delete almost all of the annotations due to the space limitations of the video format. Where did Magnus strike here? Why to move and win? Knight takes b6, opens the gates, and it is clear that Black's open king cannot survive long, and Magnus won after some further moves. Wesley So has annotated his win against Veselin Topalov. White is better, but Black has some compensation. But bishop takes e3 was a greedy mistake. Queen d7. Now, material is not so important. More important is control or queen exchange, reducing the pressure so that White's rook activity and strong c-pawn decide. And queen a8 is again too optimistic. The knight joins the fight, and now White is more or less completely dominant and won after some further moves. Maxime Vachier-Lagrave has made detailed notes on his win against Peter Sweetler. He has very good compensation here for the exchange, and knight takes d7 was a mistake. Black strikes first. Sweetler didn't have time for it. I had deleted it here. Black always wins, and Maxime proves it. I just show the rest of the game. Check. Diagonal queen retreats are often overlooked by humans, but okay, here, yeah, it's a check. And again, yeah, that's a nice maneuver over the whole board of Black's mighty queen. It seems that the king escapes, but of course it doesn't. And so Sweetler resigned. Yeah, there's this Capablanca theorem that queen and knight make a strong attacking duo, and this was a case in point proven by Maxime Vachier-Lagrave. There are 10 traditional opening surveys, one new column opening trends, and this time Hannes Langrock deals with new trends in the French Rubinstein variation. We will see soon. And Erwin Lamy looks in a video at the King's Indian with knight c6 in the 7th move, then d takes e5, d takes e5, and bishop g5. But first I want to have a short look at one of the trends in the French. Rubinstein can also be played, of course. The advantage of the Rubinstein, of course, is you only against knight c3 and knight d2 you have your system. Bishop d7 would now be for knocks, and knight d7 is Rubinstein, and so only you need against the exchange and the advanced French and some other lines, but it is possible. It is a relatively small repertoire. You don't need too much theory. And here Fabiano Caruana had created a lot of problems for Rubinstein specialist Georg Mayer with bishop e3, knight e5, and bishop d2, and won a model game in 2013, but Langrock claims that after bishop e3 you can follow Landa, just bishop, no knight d5, just bishop d6, castling short, b6 and bishop b7, and maybe later queen e7, c5, and Landa had enough counterplay and drew relatively easy against Folyanov. And more recent Rubinstein games are there in the opening trends column. From the traditional surveys, I want to mention especially the one by Mikhail Krasenkov, because it's an interesting idea against c4 and g3, just c6 and then d5. Very ambitious, very concrete and dynamic. Yeah, White has several approaches, of course. Against bishop g2, this shall be played, and then a pawn shall be sacrificed. White can attack it 3 times, and now it's not easy to protect it, but it doesn't matter. Just sacrifice it, and Krasenkov claims that Black has enough compensation. And another critical line, of course, is d4. This is a typical reaction when black doesn't have knight c6 anymore. But after e4, Krasenkov also claims that black gets a playable game. So study his survey in detail if you play this with white, and if you need a weapon with black as well, and it rises very early, so it can be easily relevant for your repertoire. Yeah, in the endgame, there are two further special videos. One by Maxime Schillergraf and Daniel King, where Maxime analyzes, among other games, his game against Caruana from Dortmund, and another video where Yannick Pelletier and Daniel King take an eulogy of Victor Kurt Schneu, who unfortunately has passed away recently. A really great giant of chess. Don't miss this video. Yeah, then the usual columns. I look at rook endgame technique. Simon Williams in his move-by-move column analyzes the game Herdneck-Keimer from Vienna 2016, where the young German talent beat the very strong German grandmaster with the Slav defense. Don't miss this, and try to solve all questions yourself first before you look at the solutions. Oliver Ray looks at power play in his tactics column. Magnus Carlsen, Anish Giri, Bilbao 2016, white to move. How to start a dark squared power play. Even Magnus missed it. c5 and rook a6, and then white will get two pieces against the rook, and together with the queen and the power play on the dark squares, it should give white excellent winning chances. So really solve Oliver Ray's tactic questions to keep your eye sharp. Mikhail Marin looks at King's Indian structure with e5 takes d4, like this. Often white's dark squared bishop is a very important piece here to protect the weakened dark squares, and I have selected here the two famous Bronstein victories, first against Zita from the Moscow-Prague match 1946, black to move and win. Yeah, the bishop is just such a strong piece, it must be eliminated, and then another protector. Two very important protectors of the dark squares are now taken away, and somehow the backbone of the position is missing, and black wins in all variations. Check this first and then look at Mikhail Marin's annotations later. And the other Bronstein classic is against Ludek Pachman. Black to move and win, and yeah, of course, Bitok takes e1, bishop takes d4, and Bronstein won after some further moves. And I, of course, always like how Mikhail Marin manages to connect the great past to present fresh examples. And this structure, after he takes d4, can arise also from other openings, and it makes sense to make yourself familiar with it. And this is, of course, much more than only the important role of white's dark squared bishop. This is just very much highlighted in the two famous Bronstein examples. Last not least, the opening traps by Rainer Knag, who has again selected many, and I selected one of them again. Gotel Gonzalez, Manila 2016, Queen's Gambit, accepted, e3, and now, yeah, guys, this is somehow an opening surprise. Somehow it doesn't fit together with the main guidelines or dogmas of opening theory and development, but okay, well, it doesn't matter, it cannot be refuted in a concrete way, and it even sets a trap in which white falls with knight g5. How to exploit it? Solve it yourself first, and then look at Rainer Knag's solution on the DVD. And now I wish you a lot of fun with ChessBase Magazine 170.